watching the Fox 5 Morning News.
All right, all eyes on SpaceX as they get ready to go public on Wall Street. Joining us now, VP of Wilsey Asset Management, Chase Wilsey, with what you need to know. Okay, a lot of hype around this. Do we invest? Do we not?
I mean, as you said, there's a lot of hype. I think everybody knows that this is coming public. It looks like now we got the date set for June 12th, $1.75 trillion valuation. Stock price will be $135 per share. I mean, to answer your question in short, I guess we wrap this up the segment quickly. I would not invest when it comes public.
Really? Okay, now I'm going to say why.
There's a lot of factors here. One of them being the float. And what that means is essentially the shares outstanding that will be publicly traded. When the float is going to be very small, like in SpaceX's case, it's going to be in the single-digit percentage. What that means is there's really not that high amount of shares outstanding. So there's, again, about a $75 billion capital raise on a $1.75 trillion company. That then means there's not that many shares outstanding. And as you said, everybody is so interested in this.
So what's going to happen?
So I think what's going to likely happen is you're going to see a big first day pop. Yep. All that excitement's going to come to fruition, but then things will wane. And we've seen this before in the past. What we look at is historically stocks that go public with a price to sales multiple over 40. SpaceX's is going to be close to 100. Their 3-year return after the first day close on average is a negative 45%. Ooh. So a lot of times this hype, this excitement, it's there in the beginning, but it starts to fizzle when you start to think about the numbers here. I'm paying 100 times sales for this company. Is that realistic?
But then why, like investors, if they're looking back and they're looking at kind of this data and say, okay, this is probably likely might happen, but they still get into it?
Well, I think, again, it's kind of ignoring some of the other stuff and just fixating on Elon Musk, fixating on space, fixating on AI without actually digesting the data, without digesting the numbers. You get so wrapped up in the hype, so wrapped up in the excitement that you let all the other things go out the window. And the other big thing that you have to understand as an investor is what I call the lockup period. What that means is you have insiders, people that have been invested in SpaceX since the beginning. When this stock first comes public, they can't just go, I'm going to sell all my shares.
Oh, they cannot. I was going to ask you. They can't.
Cannot.
Until when? So
there's different periods. Generally, there's a 6-month lockup window. In SpaceX's case, they've kind of implemented these different increments. So I think they've tried to kind of create a little bit more of a gradual cliff rather than an immediate cliff at that 6-month window. Great example of why this is problematic. Meta. Meta was probably, I'm going to say, maybe the most recent high-profile IPO that we had. I would say they went IPO as Facebook, not Meta. They IPO'd about $38 a share. Well, about 6 months later, when that lockup window expired, the stock fell to under $20 a share. Now, Meta's done great since then, obviously. Sure. I don't want to knock that. But if you would have been patient and waited, you could have gotten a much better price by buying Meta 6 months after the IPO.
Okay, speaking of buying and excitement and things that are on the horizon, a lot of talk around AI right now and Anthropic. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think that's going to be another interesting one. You know, Anthropic, OpenAI, they'll both be going public later this year, it appears. And I think it's going to be a similar story. I think you're going to see a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, maybe around the first few days of trading. And one other thing that's interesting that a lot of people bypass is the NASDAQ 100, which is a passive index. You buy the QQQ, you may have heard that term. A lot of people are riding that high. You used to have to wait a year to be included in the NASDAQ 100. They've now, as of May, shortened that window to just 15 days. So you could see OpenAI, Anthropic, SpaceX very quickly added to this passive index. Again, adding to that demand for those stocks in the early days. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, big pops, big excitement. But again, I think this will kind of fade over the next maybe 6 months to a year. And that's when I would, if I was a speculator looking at it for the long term, that's when I'd jump in and buy, maybe not at the beginning.
All of this gives me anxiety. That's why you do what you do and I do what I do.
Yeah.
And then you come here and talk. Thank you for being here, Chase.
Thanks for having me.
All right, 7:52, let's get you over to Heather. Oh, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.